Did you know that Barcelona almost had its own Eiffel Tower, or that its beaches didn't even exist before 1992? Barcelona, the capital of Catalonia, is famous for its stunning art and architecture, thanks to Gaudí, rich history, sunny Mediterranean beaches, and a legendary football culture. It's one of Europe's top travel destinations for good reason, from secret underground bunkers to a cathedral over 140 years in the making. Here are 10 mind-blowing facts about Barcelona. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss number 3. Believe it or not, Barcelona's beautiful beaches are artificial. Before the 1990s, the city had no sandy beaches for leisure. All the coastline you see was an industrial port area. In preparation for the 1992 Olympics, 4.5 kilometers of industrial waterfront were transformed into the golden beaches locals and tourists enjoy today. Yes, the sand was even imported, making Barceloneta Beach a giant sandbox creation. Talk about a construction project that never ends. The Sagrada Familia Basilica has been under construction for over 140 years and counting. Work began in 1882 under architect Antoni Gaudí, who devoted 40 years to it until his death. Fast forward to today. This epic church is still being built and isn't finished yet. In fact, it's projected to be completed in 2026. That's roughly 144 years after the first stone was laid. Generations of Barcelonans have watched it rise, and its cranes have become a permanent part of the skyline. Imagine the Eiffel Tower in Barcelona. It sounds crazy, but legend says Gustave Eiffel initially proposed his famous tower to Barcelona for the 1888 World's Fair, and the city rejected it as too costly or odd for the skyline. While this story is often called a myth, it's true that Barcelona turned down several Eiffel-like tower projects for that expo. In the end, Paris said "oui" to Eiffel's design, and that's why the French capital, not Barcelona, got one of the world's most iconic landmarks. This "what if" definitely makes us wonder how Barcelona's skyline might look with a giant iron tower. Beneath Barcelona's busy streets lies a ghost metro station that passengers pass every day but never see. The station, called Gaudí, was fully built in the 1960s near Sagrada Familia, complete with platforms and signage, but it never opened to the public. Why? A rerouting of the subway line made it redundant just before inauguration. To this day, trains zoom through this eerily empty station without stopping. It's a true urban legend come to life. Occasionally, maintenance crews or curious urban explorers visit, but for most people, Gaudí Station remains out of sight and mysterious. Antoni Gaudí, the genius behind Barcelona's most iconic buildings, died in one of the most unexpected ways. On June 7, 1926, while walking near the Sagrada Familia, he was hit by a tram. Dressed in his usual simple, worn-out clothes, passers-by mistook him for a beggar and didn't help him right away. By the time he was taken to the hospital, it was too late. He died 3 days later, on June 10th, at the age of 73. Today, he is buried inside his unfinished masterpiece, the Sagrada Familia. Did you know Barcelona briefly served as Spain's capital? It's true. During the late 1930s in the Spanish Civil War, the Republican government, facing Franco's advancing forces, relocated from Madrid to Valencia and then to Barcelona. From 1937 until its fall in 1939, Barcelona was the wartime capital of Republican Spain. Barcelona even has its own Arc de Triomphe, but it's not a copy of Paris's. In fact, it's completely different in purpose and style. Built as the grand entrance to the 1888 Barcelona World Fair, this reddish brick arch wasn't about military victories at all. Unlike the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, which honors war victories, Barcelona's Arc de Triomphe celebrated art, industry, and cooperation among nations. Visitors love strolling down La Rambla, thinking of it as one long boulevard. But here's a fun fact. It's not just one street. La Rambla is actually 5 different street sections merged end to end. Each stretch has its own name and flavor, from Rambla de Canaletes, near Plaza Catalunya, down to Rambla de Santa Monica by the port, with Rambla dels Estudis, Rambla de Sant Josep, the famous flower market section, and Rambla dels Capuchins in between. That's why locals often call it Las Ramblas, plural in Spanish. Antoni Gaudi's masterpieces aren't just stunning, they tell stories. For example, Casa Batlló, one of his famous houses, is basically a stone and glass retelling of the legend of St. George and the dragon. Look closely. The roof is arched and scaled like a dragon's back, and a turret with a cross represents St. George's lance defeating the beast. Even the balconies look like skulls, the victims of the dragon. Gaudi's designs are rich with such symbolism and nature motifs, from the tree-like columns inside Sagrada Familia to the colorful lizard guarding Park Güell. It's like a treasure hunt of meaning, hidden in plain sight. Finally, prepare to be dazzled by Barcelona's magic fountain, Font Magica, of Montjuïc. Every week, this gigantic fountain puts on a free evening show. Water, light, and music, choreographed in a spectacular dance. Built in 1929 for the World's Fair, the fountain was way ahead of its time. Today it draws millions of visitors a year, shooting water up to 50 meters high in sync with everything from classical Spanish guitar to pop songs. Montjuïc's magic fountain has been out of operation in recent years due to severe water shortages in Barcelona. As the city faces ongoing drought concerns, authorities halted the fountain to prioritize water conservation. However, there are plans to reopen it once conditions improve. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing facts, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. See you in the next one.